Koholo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Dash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Ruel. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Another quick one here, and the first part of this video isn't as important as to what the second part is. There's something that I really want to key in on, and you'll see it. I may just end up fast forwarding this to the part that I really want to hone in on, and what this professor of cult studies says. So I won't give it away. I'm going to let her say what she says beforehand. Well, actually, yeah, you can read the caption here. It says the apparent leader of a cult-like group who was once declared dead in San Mateo, I think that's what it is, or in San Mateo County. But we want to hone in on cult, especially when you have some of these folks that quote unquote left the Hebrew Israelite cult, or Hebrew Israelism, as some Edomite made up that term. Let's get what ism is. Let's get what the suffix ism is, which is like a study or a religion, or let's get it. There we go. All right, used for nouns that describe a belief, ideology, or practice. All right, for example, capitalism. All right, and then let's get cult. System of religious veneration, devotion, directed towards a particular figure or object. All right, so look for them to hone in. All right, and this will, maybe drive the famine of the word. This could possibly be a part two of yesterday's video, how I said all roads lead to fulfillment of prophecy. This could be one of the avenues or one of the ways of approach to Jacob's trouble, where, true believers, sincere believers who've done nothing to anybody except preach the truth of the Bible will then become a prey, will then become, somebody to, or an entity to be hunted down, where this devil will control the narrative and paint you out and have some, false FLAGs to happen, and then say, look what the black brews are doing. Never put a false FLAG past these devils, right? They will do anything to their own, and just to have a way, just to sway public, the court of public opinion when it comes to going after someone or a group. Okay, so let's.
Developments in the cult-like group that has been linked to multiple murders across the country. And today, the leader of that group was ordered to be held without bail in a Maryland court.
Jack.
Now remember, they're going to say cult, or cult-like, and look for other groups, other people. This may even be a separate issue, but they'll label it as a cult-like group, and then it'll put it in the minds of the people to associate cult-like with murder and malice and basically Edomite traits. Okay, and I want you to really think about that, really hone in on it. This is where they start with something completely separate, and then next thing you know, there's a category, for those who are believers to be a quote-unquote cult-like group. And next thing you know, cult is a cult-like group means there's a green light to do, it's justified, whatever hurt or harm you do. All right, it's justified. Let me fast forward it.
Appeared in a Maryland courtroom Tuesday morning facing gun and trespass. Suspect Michelle Zashko's parents were found murdered in Pennsylvania that year as well. Then in January of this year, the Vallejo land Reese Youngblood was then arrested in Vermont a few days. The human consumption of animals and espouses a theory that two hemispheres of the brain can hold separate values and genders that want to kill.
All right, none of this is really important. I'm gonna let you know when the part of the video that we're the subject matter of the video is
each other. A UC Berkeley professor.
Here we go. UC Berkeley professor. Okay, um, let's take a look at what you see there. And I believe UC Berkeley is probably one of those super liberal schools. I guess. I don't know. Well, most of these colleges are like that. But let's just let her say her thing. We'll see.
Who teaches a class on cults, says cults are now inside homes online.
We talk
Cults are inside homes online, where the mass majority of believers wake up, okay, via the internet, right? So, things that you repost, things that you are looking at. Don't ever think that your search history is private. Even if you open a quote unquote private window, it's not. It's never private, no matter what you do. You'll never have any type of privacy, and they want to take what little privacy that you do have, and basically they want to take what little privacy that you do have, and put you on a grid, IoT or Internet of Things.
about cults, we're really talking about forms of belief that disrupt our social equilibrium.
Forms of belief that disrupt our social equilibrium. So let's look up what equilibrium means. Separate, obviously, social meaning a group study type of thing. So let's look up what an equilibrium is. A state which opposing forces or influences are balanced. The maintenance of social equilibrium. All right, a state of physical balance. Okay, I stumble over a rock and recover my equilibrium. So biologically, your equilibrium keeps everything in order, in balance. All right, symmetry. Okay, so an opposing view. Before we go even further into that, so biologically, equilibrium keeps everything in balance, right? Okay, so if we're looking at something socially, the equilibrium is set by those who control the narrative, by those who dictate what is a quote unquote social norm and what is not. And these devils always try to push and change the social norm. Example: 30 years ago, a certain lifestyles were frowned upon, and it was a commonly agreed upon thing that a certain sexual behavior was it was frowned upon, it was disgusting, it's not something you should do. If you saw it, it was an anomaly. Now, slowly but surely, as they integrate and make changes and change narratives and normatives, it is nothing to see, those who live a certain lifestyle, and that is now the norm, okay? So, bear all of these things in mind as we equate this to those who truly believe, those who live their life according to biblical standards. Truly, not according to a false god, a false white or pale-faced, stringy-haired devil. Okay, we're talking about the actual truth of the Bible, or at least what you can do while you are in captivity. Okay, bear all that in mind. And this is off the dome. This is organic. I only got a couple of scriptures, and this is basically talking about persecution, because it's coming, and you don't know what you'll lose. All right, you don't know how hard some people are gonna go against you. Those who thought you were cool with. Just expect some sort of loss. Just expect somebody to look at you like you hurt their mom or some shit. I don't know. Okay, but soon it's not gonna be cool. All right, you gonna have to be okay with being the quote unquote bad guy. And I'm preaching to self. You never know. You never know. Okay, we don't know how these things are gonna unfold. We just know that they will unfold. You don't know what the Lord has planned for you in your walk. As these things unfold, these certain tests that you may have to go through. Okay, so let's not fast forward. Let's rewind it back and re-listen to what she said. You need to pay attention to every word that is said, especially on the news, especially when they start to try and covertly paint these narratives.
Teaches a class on cults, says cults are now inside homes online.
When we talk about cults, we're really talking about forms of belief that disrupt our social equilibrium. But there's no legal definition for cults.
A North Carolina landlord told ABC
Yet. But, as the scriptures tell you, he frameth mischief by law. Look for a legal definition to be made. Look for a law to be associated with it. And that law will be written so ambiguously that they can apply it any way they want. Okay? These are things you need to pay attention to. Times are getting serious. Situations are getting worse. Okay? And you are going to need to lean on the faith that you have established.
News that Lesotho lived in a condo on his property recently with the ZIS member who died in the Vermont shooting.
Okay, that's really all we needed. I wanted to really hone in on what that quote, that college professor said. So this is the scriptures I gathered here, and that'll be it. Okay, so this is 2 Timothy 3 and 12. Certain things that I just kind of tried to pull up really quick. And I'm going to get straight to the point. I got to go right back inside to work to the plantation. Did I write that down? 2 Timothy 3 and 12. Okay, yeah. Damn. Let me get 10. Actually, I also want to see in the NLT. Dog, okay. 2 Timothy 3 and 12. Let's remember those. 3. Alright, yeah, dangers of the last days. Yeah, so 10. I did want to start at 10. Okay, but you, Timothy, certainly knowing what I teach and how I live, what my purpose in life is, you know my faith, my patience, my love, my endurance. You know how much persecution and suffering I've endured. And Paul, good grief. Paul, boy, you, hey, Paul went through it, boy. Suffering I have endured. You know all about how I was persecuting Antioch, Iconium, and Lystra, or Lystra. But Yahweh or Yahweh Shai Shai in our case here rescued me from all of it. Yes, and everyone who wants to live a godly life in Hamashiach Yahushua will suffer persecution. Okay, so right now, evil people and imposters, right, especially right now, they will flourish. Right, they will deceive others and will themselves be deceived. Okay, but you must remain faithful to the things you have been taught. You know they are true. Do you, listener? Myself too. Do you know? Do you believe that these things that you are taught are true? I pray that you do. If you're on the fence about something, pray, fast, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Okay, really, truly. All right, but you must remain faithful to the things you have been taught. You know they are true, for you know you can trust those who taught you. All right, which is why I always say, all right, you only follow the men of GMS and those who preach the like doctrine. John 15:18. We're just going to stay in the NLT for right now. You can pull these up, KJV, on your own time. Compare, go into Blue Letter, make sure, everything lines up the way it's supposed to line up. Okay. What did I say? John 15:18. This one will get straight to the point here. 15:18. If the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. The world would love you as it love you it as one of its own if you belong to it, but you are no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. That is Yahweh Shai speaking. If this word resonates with you, all right, many are called, few are chosen. So let's see how this thing plays out for all of us, prayerfully. All of us, all of you who are sincere. My prayer is that Yahweh shall have mercy on you. That we are chosen. I wouldn't want to go out in this place. Not here. Oof. No. Alright, Matthew 5 and 8, 5 and 10. I think that's one we need. But we'll see. Oh. Yes, there we go. So that's why I grabbed it. It says, Yahweh blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. So understand, don't bring unnecessary mess on yourself, right? If you're going to be in trouble, if you're going to be persecuted, if you're going to be looked at funny, let it be for righteousness, okay? Keep your head on a swivel, pay attention, and don't make rash and stupid decisions that give ammo to your enemy to truly, come against you and have a reason to come against you, right, according to the laws of this land, right? Do what you're supposed to do, basically, okay? And then the last scripture is 1 Peter 3 and 14, and we'll end it there. Again, we're staying in the NLT. You need to look it up in the KJV and the other versions. Make sure everything lines up, right? Get your definition. Do your due diligence. Oop. Yeah, it is 3 and 14. All right, you had it right here, title, Day of the Lord is Coming. You scroll on down to the 14th verse, and this is where we'll end it here. Okay, so let's read that. And so, dear friends, while you are waiting for these things to happen, make every effort to be found living peaceful lives that are pure and blameless in His sight. Right? Point blank, period, straight to the point. You get it, you understand, you see. Live the way you're supposed to live. Stay out of sight. Stay out of the way. Don't be doing too much out here. It's too late in the game. Go to work, come home, go to the gym, do your martial arts, like I said in the last video. But let Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai guide you. Let Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai be the end all and be all of your faith. Okay? Because these carnal things cannot save you. Alright? So, with that being said, Shalom.